necessary, and it does not taste good. Why in the name of heaven do we drink it? The very first reason explains why we do practically everything: curiosity. Curiosity. Coffee is a big people drink. They drink it and don't give up any. And when we get old enough to ask, we're told we can't have it because it's not good for us, so we want some. And when we beg enough and enough and enough, somewhere along the line, the mother or the father will take a little bit of coffee, cut it with milk or cream, put a little sugar in it, sweeten it. And some people, when they really acquire a taste for coffee, actually believe the sugar ruins the taste. It ruins the taste. Sugar is put into the coffee of the young because of their preference for sweetness in order to get them to drink it. So, in other words, we take a sip, we slake our curiosity, we are doing what the big people do. That, by the way, is your first step out of infancy, doing something that big people do. The second reason coffee is drunk is simply because it's customary. The drinking of tea is customary in Ireland, Scotland, and England, and so on. Drinking of coffee is perfectly customary here. In fact, the coffee break is so customary, it's written into some labor management contracts here in the United States. And as Doc Green used to say, an AA meeting without a coffee urn is perhaps a serious break. Conviviality. There is a certain social aspect to the drinking of coffee. Why do we have a coffee break? So that people can sit around and have conversation while they're having a cup of coffee. You don't drink coffee usually through the day because you're thirsty, but simply because it is the coffee break, and everyone sits around and has one. All right. Now we come, at long last, to alcohol, the great mysterious thing. Why do people drink? People drink for a whole lot of reasons, but they're just as simple as all of these. They're just as simple and completely uncomplicated as all the rest. The drinking of alcohol is a learned process, just like the drinking of coffee is a learned process. It is not necessary, and it doesn't taste good. It comes in beverage form that normally is not acceptable, especially to young palates. We have to acquire a taste for alcoholic beverages. Some people drink it all their lives and never acquire a taste for it, but they drink it anyway, which is a little bit perverse for starters. Anyway, why do people drink alcohol? Number one, curiosity. It's a big people drink. Even the law says in some places, it used to be universal in the United States, you couldn't drink it until you were 21. Then it became 18, now it's back to 19 in some places, and so on and so forth. Well, somewhere along the line, you're going to taste alcoholic beverages. That law was a rather crazy sort of a thing anyway. Have any of you in this room ever heard anybody, or have you ever said yourself, let's say you're 15, 16 years old, and you're at a high school dance and somebody says, how about a beer? And you say, gee, I'd love to have one, but I can't. It's illegal. I'm 21. It is so silly. No one pays attention. We have all tasted alcoholic beverages before our 21st year. We satisfy that curiosity. Somewhere along the line, somebody will take a little whiskey, put a little water or ice in it to cut it, a little sugar to sweeten it. I used to do a little garbage to make it pretty. We call that a cocktail. Take a sip, you're doing just what the big people do. And this, too, we associate with adulthood. Your first step out of infancy is a sip of coffee. Your first step into the adult world of the macho human being is drinking booze. And I think that some so-called adults are still children at heart. We, for some reason or other, think that drinking alcohol is somehow the manly, the adult thing to do. A little bit crazy. Custom dictates the use of alcohol. Ladies and gentlemen, alcohol has been associated with hundreds of human traditions and customs. It is customary to drink at weddings. We toast the bride in champagne. And if there are any of you at whose heartstrings romance still tugs, you know the word honeymoon comes from booze? In the Scandinavian countries, they celebrate weddings for a lunar month of complete moon, 28 days. Now, during that month, that moon, they drink a beverage called mead, M-E-A-D. which is an alcoholic beverage made out of honey, if you can imagine that. This month, this moon, is called then the marriage month or the honey moon. Now, if you can imagine drinking that for 28 days, maybe you can appreciate the expression, the honeymoon is over, at the end of it. It is customary to drink at births, deaths, weddings, wakes, celebrations, graduations, anniversaries, feast days, holy days, holidays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. We're coming to Christmas. Eggnog is a traditional Christmas thing. Mulled wine in England. I think they had something in Dickens' Christmas Carol about Bob Cratchit having a little bit of wine to share with his family. The Tom and Jerry. We have the mint julep around May associated with the Kentucky Derby. I saw that on the cover of an airline magazine. May, a mint julep. We have the Tom Collins in summer, etc. And the apple wine of Germany, the Oktoberfest, you know, when the wines are brought into being, and so on and so on and so forth. It is customary to drink alcohol associated with highlights of human life, and it has been for centuries. Conviviality, good Lord. Alcohol produces a whole lot more conviviality than coffee. In fact, the Jews refer to wine as the gift of God that gladdens the hearts of men. Wine is always associated with joyous occasions. It does produce conviviality, and it produces it in a very physical way, which we'll see in a minute. It does make people kind of happy. It is drunk for escape. Now, here's where the professionals have so dazzled us with that he's drinking to escape. There's nothing wrong with that. You know why I have a sweater on tonight? It's cold out. It is so natural to seek to escape the unpleasant by substituting the pleasant for it. If you're thirsty, you take a drink of water. It's cold, you put on a sweater. It rains, you come in. To seek to escape unpleasant things is the most normal, natural thing on earth. My friends, alcohol provides escape from unpleasant things. And many people drink it for that. The anxieties of the day. Men and women for generations have had a pre-dinner cocktail or aperitif, as they call it in Europe. It relaxes you for one of the most important events of the day, the evening meal, which you eat together, which is a social, convivial type of happening. It is the gift of God that gladdens the hearts of men. And for those who can take it, alcohol has proven to be a fine escape. Some people escape the tensions of life with a vacation, a day off, jogging, running. It's perfectly normal and ordinary to seek to escape unpleasantness by substituting pleasantness. Sometimes unpleasantness can take the form of husbands, wives, jobs, kids, bosses, anything. And it's marvelous escape from this thing. Anyway, pain. Pain used to be a major reason why people drink. Have you ever used the expression, boy, he was feeling no pain with? That's been said for centuries. He's feeling no pain. And my friends, there is a biochemical reason for this. Alcohol is a painkiller. It kills pain. It really, really does. But we have infinitely better painkillers than alcohol today, so that's not quite a valid reason for over-drinking, especially. I've always said if somebody you work with comes in at 8:30 in the morning drunk and you ask him why, and he looks at you and says, receding gums, that is not a very valid reason for being drunk at 8:30 in the morning. We simply have better painkillers than alcohol, so that's kind of a... There's always, there's an ad that says, give your cold a contact. It'll be a whole lot more pleasant to give it to old granddad.